Welcome to this day for this Monday, June 22nd. I'm Paul Ortiz, and I'm filling in for a vacationing Lisa Hart today, so I appreciate you joining us on the program. Well, I know that you like brain teasers, so the first thing we're going to share with you today is our brain teaser question. And for you Scrabble players, this is a really good one, so be sure and tune in a little bit later in our program. We'll give you the answer. What English word has 3 consecutive double letters? Give you a chance to think about that as well. What English word has 3 consecutive double letters? If you play Scrabble, you probably know this word, so we'll let you know what the answer is a little bit later on our program. Well, today on our show, we want you to be sure and join us because Jeff Parker is going to be joining us. We'll be talking about community update and also many of the things that have been happening here in our community. We had the pools that will be opening here on Wednesday. That's going to be pool 2 and 5. And we also had some reservations that you must, take part in order to get your lane lines and to be a part of that activity. So we'll be talking about that and some COVID numbers, of course. And then if we have a chance, we're going to be talking to the Flukes. Actually, Lisa Hart will be talking to the Flukes. That's Constance, John, and Carmen this time. The Flukes, a well-known band here in our community, great musicians, great cover band, and they've been over at the 19 restaurant for many months now, so I'm sure a lot of you have seen them play, so we'll hopefully have them a little bit later on our program. But we want to tell you about some of the meetings. We have no meetings today, no open meetings today whatsoever to speak of, so pretty quiet day. It is a long month, so we have, I believe, the rest of the week until we get into July where there'll be no meetings. But let's tell you about some of the OC health info and some of the COVID websites that we've been sharing with you for a number of months now. OCHealthInfo.com, that's where you can see numbers per city. Very interesting too to see the numbers per city for each city that surrounds Laguna Woods. If you do the numbers, it's pretty interesting when Laguna Beach has about 5,000 to 6,000 people more than Laguna Woods, and they have numbers up in the 50s like the surrounding cities as well. So we'll talk about some of those numbers a little bit later with Jeff. Also cdc.gov, that's staying safe with COVID-19. And then our covid19.ca.gov, that is our California numbers and the governor's reopening plan. So that has a little bit more in detail as regarding, kind of some mandates, some requirements and recommendations for you. And of course, you can always go to our website, LagunaWoodsVillageAlerts.com. And if you have any questions or comments, be sure and email us at info@LagunaWoodsVillage.com. Well, believe it or not, it is the first day of summer, and here we are in June gloom. And we have some, it's going to be some overcast for probably until 1 o'clock today, and then it's going to get pretty warm. You can see numbers in the 80s for the rest of the week. If you're in Palm Springs, it's going to be well into the hundreds. But for the rest of the week, it's going to be pretty nice. I do encourage you to get out there and walk and do your activities early in the morning. And of course, if you're out there, be sure and wear sunscreen. And let's take a look at our sunrise and sunset for today. Our sunrise this morning was at 5:42 a.m. What a beautiful picture, though, of Saddleback Mountains there. Looks like it's out in that park area, possibly out in that gate, maybe gate 11 in the area, somewhere around there. Our sunrise, 5:42 a.m., and our sunset tonight is going to be at 8:05 p.m. We want to thank Jules Anderson for sending us this photo, and you could always send your photos to LagunaWoodsVillageTV@gmail.com. Be sure and send us those photos, especially if you have some wonderful photos that are here in our community. We'd love to see them. LagunaWoodsVillageTV@gmail.com. That's our sunrise and sunset photo. We'll be right back with Jeff Parker right after these messages.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Been working with retirees since 1984. I specialize in protecting people's money, setting up a secure retirement income stream for them, and making sure their money is there when they need it. I started Sterling Financial Advisors under the premise that we not only needed quality service for clients out there in the financial industry, but ethical standards as well.
We don't have any monopoly on the investments we use. What we do have a monopoly on is the integrity and how we treat our clients.
You may know AgeWell for delivering life-saving Meals on Wheels to homebound seniors. But did you know they keep seniors active and engaged at 10 modern centers? Serve nutritious congregate meals amid friendly surroundings, transport seniors safely to and from appointments, and provide much-needed equipment and other essential services. Now, this vital nonprofit organization needs your support to sustain its mission. This is AgeWell Senior Services. Won't you make it yours?
It's never too late to improve your health with exercise. Challenge yourself to get moving in the morning. Hi, I'm Susan Tuttle. I'd like to encourage you to tune in to Channel 6 each weekday mornings at 7:55. 30 minutes of daily exercise will add years to your life. What are you waiting for? Come join me.
Well, joining us on the program now is Jeff Parker. He's our Chief Executive Officer for Village Management Services. Thanks for joining us today.
Good morning, Paul. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. How was your weekend?
It was great.
Yeah.
Wonderful Father's Day. I got to spend it with my daughter, can't beat that.
Yeah, we got some nice weather, and I know traffic was, not too bad over the weekend. So that's kind of always a challenge when you're out, going to see family during the holidays, right?
Yeah, we drove up to Santa Monica area. That's where she lives, and so it was nice going up there. It was a little busy coming back, so I was starting to see people out more. So
Absolutely.
Traffic's getting a little heavier.
Yeah, I was fortunate to take my daughter out to the Dana Point Harbor, and I would say about 25% of the people, usually the capacity there, but the way they had it set up with social distancing is well done, and
good.
It was a nice environment. Great time to get away with the family.
Absolutely.
You have we have some COVID numbers to share.
Yeah, we do.
Unfortunately, I don't think they're very good, especially last week, right?
Well, and a couple of stats that just saw a real big increase. On Saturday and Sunday, the numbers in Orange County for people that tested positive, where we were in that 150, 200 range, we went all the way up to 434 yesterday and 413 on Saturday. So those are really big jumps in the number of people. And yet our testing numbers weren't super, super high. So the stats wise, that's a really big jump in that. Now, I heard this morning that one of the reasons was they had data that had been collected but hadn't been reported yet, so it was kind of a cumulative. We'll see how that plays out today when we get our stats later this afternoon.
Right.
But those are real big numbers that people should be aware about. As you know, last week the governor said back to wearing masks as mandatory. I think that's because they've seen a spike in a number of states throughout the United States. Florida, Texas, California have had some pretty big number increases. Probably the most important thing that I keep wanting to focus on, though, is how many people we have in hospitals and how many people in ICUs. And those numbers are still high. We're averaging over 325 people in the hospital the last 5 days. So that number is up, and about 130 people in the ICU. So the reason for that concern is that it relates to, unfortunately, the amount of deaths that we've had in Orange County, and that has really gone up a lot in the last 5 to 7 days. And so just want to reinforce to everybody out there, be careful, wear your mask when you're outside, and especially when you're going out, like you said, to restaurants or activities like shopping. Make sure that you wear it, and make sure that those people that are working there are wearing it.
Right.
I know that in a couple of communities, they've had to close some restaurants, even though they just opened them, because they had some employees who have been infected. So that's a scary thing, and we certainly don't want to see that spread. In the Laguna Woods, in the community, the city has 15. So that's up. As you know, we've won more, and we've kind of done this gradual climb in the last 2 weeks, where we were at 9, and then we went to 10, 11, 12, almost one a day, it seems like. Now we stayed at 15, which is good. Right. Hopefully we can keep that social distancing out there and wearing that mask and keep that number nice.
Right. I was looking at some of the numbers here in the surrounding communities. You know, Laguna Beach has about 23,000 people in their city, and they have a number of 53. Laguna Hills has 52, Laguna Niguel 54, and Lake Forest, which is a large city, 86,000 people, have 105. So Laguna Woods is doing pretty well. And it doesn't mean that's in Laguna Woods Village. We have probably 600 residents or homes outside of our community that are within the city of Laguna Woods. So 15 is still a pretty good number.
It's a great testimony to it. In fact, if you look at all the communities in Orange County, I think there's only like 4 that are in our number range, that low a number. So the community itself has done a great job. We know that there's probably some cases outside the community, but to be at 15, it's just fantastic.
That just tells you the efforts that the community has put in to wear a mask, to be safe, to stay at home, and to kind of listen to what the recommendations have been, not only from the state, but from the county, and of course from village management.
And that's important because of the fact that a lot of the individuals live here are at that at-risk category. They're 65 and over, or they have some kind of health condition. So combining those two, play it safe, and be safe.
Better safe than sorry, right?
Exactly.
Let's talk about the pools. We have a chance to open pool 2 and 5 here in the next coming days.
Right. So last week we started taking reservations last Wednesday on the 17th, and on the 24th the pools will reopen, which is great. That's pool 2 and 5, as you indicated. We have designated lanes and spacing so that we have met our COVID-19 requirements under the Orange County Health provisions. We'll also have the cleaning down of the facilities as we change our reservations. So the way it's working is, get a reservation, call in, you get a time for your time. It's 45 minutes in the pool. You can do whatever you want to do in the pool, swim, you can lounge, whatever you want to get in the water. And then we have a 15-minute break in between each reservation, so 45 minutes and a break, so that we can go in there, and as far as on the outside, the handlebars, the getting out, we can wipe those things down and make sure that we're staying clean and healthy with regards to people getting in and out of the pools.
And that's very common because 24-Hour Fitness, LA Fitness, some of the local gyms have opened up. Actually, LA Fitness opens today, and 24-Hour Fitness, same kind of thing. You make a reservation the day before. It's maybe an hour, 45 minutes, and then they shut the place down and then do their cleaning and then start all over again.
And we're doing that with regards to pickleball, paddle tennis, all of those are reservation-based now, and we've done that because of COVID-19. So we've continued to do that. Nice thing about tennis is we were able to start the doubles this last week, so I know that there's a lot of people that were excited about that. In our plan that we talked about reopening the village and that we mentioned in our broadcast, we are now looking at what's next. I know that from a statewide provision, you just mentioned it, gyms are allowed, but our community centers are closed right now. So we're evaluating, is there going to be a way that we can open up maybe one of the gyms given that closed scenario for the community center? So we're evaluating that, Ryan, putting a plan together, seeing how we could implement that plan.
Right. And obviously that's a very popular item. The fitness has really been one of the most utilized amenities in the last 20 years. Pickleball is now one of the fastest growing sports in the country, but we're able to try and provide those amenities to our residents, but it needs to be done safely.
And one of the other things that the committee was looking at is possible the purchase of some outside exercise equipment that we could put by Clubhouse 1 potentially, or one of the other clubhouses, so that people, at least if they couldn't go in the gyms right now, they could get exercise with those. It's kind of equipment that uses your own weight. But it's a pretty common now, and a lot of cities have put it in their parks program. So it's something that we're looking at too.
Very nice. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people will enjoy that as well.
Yeah, I wanted to mention, by the way, since we and appreciate all the staff time from you and Lisa on TV6, we did that broadcast of our medical professionals, and I just wanted to mention again that we have coming up the June 23rd and June 30th. with regards to broadcasting that and rebroadcasting that this morning. And,
Right.
and that's nice because I want people to watch and listen to those medical professionals because they give really good advice about the mask and the importance of that.
Right. That was well done. That was the COVID medical panel that you all put together with Kaiser Permanente and Saddleback Memorial Care.
Correct.
And what I found so interesting about that is it was put together pretty quickly. I don't think people realized that. And we actually had a doctor drop out at the last second as well. And I believe even a PR person from one of the hospitals as
Right.
well. So to have them come on so quickly and to really talk about the issues that affect not only Orange County, but obviously the world, but how it really is working in Laguna Woods and how these recommendations and these safety measures are put in place. I thought it was wonderful. The gentleman from Saddleback Memorial, well, all three of them were just absolutely wonderful. The interesting thing, they work for different organizations.
Right.
But they really confirmed one another as to what they were saying and what they were trying to, convey to the audience.
And I think that's really the important part of that is that the cohesiveness, even though they're coming from different organizations, with regards to how the testing was working, what were some of the important elements that people should know about testing, how to go out and get testing if you need it, and then again, wearing the mask and what was the importance of that and why, and I think the critical part we always miss, people think that wearing a mask is about them, but it really is protecting other people is what the mask is really effective in doing.
I know you're a big sports fan. I'm a big sports fan. I thought it was interesting at the RBC over the week, the PGA Professional Golf Tournament. You had Nick Watney, one of the top players in the world. He shows up on Tuesday with Sergio Garcia to do their practice rounds and continue, all the work on the range and all that. They all tested that day. He was negative on Tuesday, and then Friday when he made the cut, they test him again. He was positive.
Right.
So it tells you how 3 days. If he wasn't a professional athlete, he just goes on and does his business, spends Father's Day with his family, does this and does that. So
it is very easy, and that's the asymptomatic element of the COVID-19. There are so many people out there that are infected and are walking around and don't feel it, don't have any symptoms at all. And that's the biggest difference probably of COVID-19 versus any flu, bug, or anything that we have. So many people can have it, not recognize it, and then spread it so easily.
Right, and that's why the recommendation to wear the mask is so important, because what you're doing is you're showing a consideration to your fellow beings by wearing your mask and showing a courtesy to them that we're not going to be sharing germs, and you have respect for their health and well-being as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's very important. What else do you have for the rest of the week? Is that what you have?
We're working on the plan and making sure that we get to that next step. We're looking at our equestrian center when we can get back into the riding program, making sure we're getting our staffing up. The biggest process for us now is as we bring staffing back to the organization, we want to make sure that they are protected, that we have our structure in place. So we're working on an overall master plan that will be for how we're going to do the community center with our staffing and also outside activities with regards to our staffing.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of work on how these protocols are going to come into place and how it affects the customer service, because that's really what we're all about.
Exactly.
Well, we thank you for joining us on the program today. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we hope to see you on Wednesday as well.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it.
That's Jeff Parker. He's our Chief Executive Officer for Village Management Services, and he brings his report Monday, Wednesday, and Friday usually here on this program. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hello, I'm Barry Arbuckle, President and CEO of Memorial Care. This important message is for our patients, employees, physicians, and our community, and it must not wait. Together, we have flattened the COVID-19 curve by social distancing and other measures. Together, we have prepared for the possibility of a surge in hospital patients, which thankfully we haven't experienced. And together, we have continued to provide exceptional, safe health care to a small percentage of patients who have the virus and many others with healthcare needs completely unrelated. Together, we must now focus on renewal of healthcare services and, most importantly, the renewal of your health care. I know some of you are reluctant to seek care as our community adjusts to reopening. You may be ignoring symptoms or delaying important treatment. This is worrisome. Delays can lead to worsening of serious medical conditions, even unnecessary loss of life.
I'm Dr. Mark Sackwood, Chief of Cardiovascular Surgery for Memorial Care. I just completed a minimally invasive aortic valve replacement. This patient had aortic stenosis with increasing symptoms of shortness of breath, chest pain, and dizziness. Without surgery, there could have been dire consequences, including potential loss of life. If you have symptoms, please don't delay your care. We are here for you.
Oftentimes, conditions like the one Dr. Sackwood just described are discovered in one of our 4 hospital emergency departments. We know of instances in which patients have delayed going to the ER when they needed to be there.
I'm very concerned that patients with stroke, heart attack, sepsis, or other medical emergencies are delaying care. Let me reassure you, it is safe and critically important that you do not ignore the signs and symptoms such as chest discomfort, shortness of breath, difficulty breathing, or sudden onset of headache. If you think you may be having a medical emergency, don't wait. Call 911 or go to your nearest emergency room.
We want you to be safe and feel safe. That is why Memorial Care is taking every possible precaution to ensure a protected environment for all patients, whether they're in one of our neighborhood health centers, urgent care centers, imaging or surgery centers, or our hospitals.
Memorial Care hospitals and outpatient centers are once again performing scheduled surgeries and procedures covering many specialties, including joint replacement, spine surgery, gynecological procedures, and many others. And we are taking many extraordinary precautions. All individuals entering any of our facilities are screened for symptoms, their temperature is taken, and a mask is provided. All surgical patients are tested for COVID-19 before their surgery. Waiting areas have been reconfigured for social distancing, and we continue to follow the most stringent compliance with disinfecting and cleaning of all equipment and spaces.
These types of precautions are taken in all of Memorial Care's locations, regardless of the service being provided. And remember, most health care isn't provided in a hospital. Memorial Care offers the greatest number of options for outpatient, neighborhood-based centers in our region. You can have your primary care and urgent care visits in person or virtually. Outpatient surgeries and imaging tests can also be performed in any number of our outpatient centers.
All of our outpatient centers stand ready to care for you. Whether your child needs a vaccination, you have a chronic condition like diabetes or high blood pressure, or whether you need an imaging procedure for a sports injury. Whatever your need, we're here.
Memorial Care is deeply committed to providing our employees, our physicians, and our community with exceptional and safe health care today and every day. Please don't neglect your health. You can rely on us as you always have. Thank you for the trust you place in Memorial Care and the honor of serving you.
Well, unfortunately, we weren't able to bring you that segment with the Flukes today, but we guarantee you we'll bring it to you this week sometime, and we'll find out what those guys are up to. I'm sure they're practicing on new music, and they cannot wait to get out there and perform for you once again. Well, let's tell you quickly about our brain teaser. I know Lisa likes to bring that to you, and this is a really good one this week. I kind of went through my head a couple of times, but what English word has 3 consecutive double letters? Now, of course, like I said earlier in the program, if you're a Scrabble player, you probably know this answer, and the answer is bookkeeper. Very interesting. When you look at it again, it looks kind of odd, but that is bookkeeper, and that was our answer for our brain teaser for today. Well, we want to tell you as well about our movies today. We're having our Monday matinee. That's going to be starting at 2 o'clock, and this stars Jim Carrey, and that's going to be Sonic the Hedgehog. It's kind of a live animation film, and this is the world needed a hero, and it got a hedgehog. Powered by incredible speed, Sonic embraces his new home on Earth until he accidentally knocks out the power grid, sparking the attention of uncool, evil genius Dr. Robot Nick. Now, talking about knocking the power out of the grid, we've seen that many times in the last few months with a lot of people streaming and on their devices. Even here in our community, we've had the internet go down a number of times. It's just the usage is just amazing what people are doing now at home. This movie is a little bit like that. We also want to tell you about a movie that we showed on Friday. It is The Shop Around the Corner. This is a classic movie. And unfortunately, we cut off the movie about a minute and 45 seconds. And so we apologize that the ending was abruptly ended. And we are going to bring that movie to you on Thursday, and that's going to be The Shop Around the Corner, and that's a special Thursday movie. It's going to play at 3 o'clock with subtitles and 5:30 without, and we do know that movie is 1 hour, 38 minutes, and about 20 seconds, so we'll make sure that that is captured and played for you in its entirety on Thursday. Well, let's go outside now and see what that June gloom is doing. It's only been about 20 minutes, so looks like it hasn't really cleared much at all. We have temperatures though well into the 80s for the next few days, and you're going to see some sunny skies a little bit later, probably around lunchtime. So warm temperatures here in the community, but be sure and get your walk in early, do your activities before lunchtime, and then the June gloom should be lifting. Well, I'm Paul Ortiz, and I appreciate you spending your last half hour with us, and be sure and tune in tomorrow. Lisa Hart will be here hosting the program, and we'll have more information regarding your community. Enjoy your day.
My name is Dennis Cafferty, General Manager of the El Toro Water District. I sincerely hope you are healthy and well. I want to assure you the district staff remains hard at work to ensure the reliability of the water and wastewater systems that serve our community. Please know your drinking water remains safe. The COVID-19 virus is not present in the drinking water delivered to your home. The district continues to frequently and routinely test the drinking water system to verify it meets all health standards and requirements. It's also important to note during this period when flushable wipes and other cleaning wipes are being used more frequently at home, please do not flush them down the toilet. These items can cause blockages and sewer spills. Toilet paper is the only material that should be flushed down the toilet. The district's customer service representatives are available by phone or email to answer any questions you may have or address any concerns you may have about payment during this crisis. Thank you for your attention. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay strong.
At Harvard Eye, we're so happy to be open again to see you for all of your medical and surgical eye care. We're taking great care to protect everyone from COVID-19 by seeing fewer patients, spacing out chairs in the lobby, sanitizing our office constantly, and doing much more. The world is changing a lot, but what hasn't changed is we're honored by your trust and confidence and committed to keeping you safe. We can't wait to see you again.